Hello and welcome to Do-It-Yourself Musician. Today we have a Freeze sound retainer, Electro-Harmonix Nano pedal, made in New York City. This Freeze pedal, is this like an old Boss sustainer? What was that pedal called? Feedbacker sustainer? Is this kind of like that? Just kind of latches onto a note and feeds it back. But I bought this in a lot of pedals that are broken. This one, I'm not even going to plug it in because I don't know if you can hear it or not, but there's a rattle in there. So instead of plugging it in to see if it works, I'm actually just going to take it apart and see what that is rattling in there. Let's pull it back off and see. Oh, I can see already what it is. It's a piece of red. What is that? That's interesting. What is that? What would be red in here? These switches are sometimes red. I also just noticed we don't have a retaining nut on that side. Well, we also don't have the hardware here. There it is. Jeez. Oh yeah, look at that. Huh. This switch is like it's completely falling apart. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this piece here is right there. That should be it. That's what it was. So this switch has just been destroyed. This pot looks a little off too. I don't know if that matters though. Question is do I have any of these? Okay, so I wanted to take a quick second and talk about selecting a switch like this for a guitar pedal, and I'll give you a tip here in a minute on the easiest way to find the right switch for a guitar pedal application like this. But these are sub-miniature toggles is what they're called, or sub-mini toggles. They're double pole, double throw in this case. I did want to just give you a little tip here though about these are classified generally. This particular switch is an on switch, and that means that it makes contact in all three positions of the switch, because there is a center position and two outside positions, and this switch needs to make contact in all three positions. These could also be like on, off, on will be another very common switch. But I want to give you a little warning, like you want to look for this to say on, exactly like this. If you see this, where there's like parentheses around these two ons, that means that it's momentary. And what's going to happen on a switch like that is that the toggle will stay in the center, and when you push it to one side, it's going to snap back because it's just momentary. So it's going to be momentary on either side of a center. And you don't want that. You just want on. So watch out for that. Don't order the wrong switch. Beyond that, what you want to do is find a data sheet like this that has a measured drawing. Get yourself a pair of calipers is the best way, and measure your old switch. Measure up what you got versus the drawing that you can find, and hopefully you can find one that'll be suitable. That's the easiest way to go about this. If you can't actually find a part number written on the switch, that's the best way to do it, is just measure it up before you order it so you'll know what it is. So I told you about a little shortcut to ordering a part for a pedal like this. We're lucky that we have pedal part suppliers such as Small Bear Electronics. Then there's also Love My Switches. And I actually ordered these two from Love My Switches. And I will put the part numbers on the screen, and I'll also put them in the description below. I did want to make one other comment and talk about the fact that when you measure these things up, you may not be able to find the exact switch. Like, this is the broken toggle that came off the pedal that we're fixing. And you can see that it's kind of in between these two in terms of the length of this toggle here, right? Like, it's sort of in between them. And the reason for that is that a company like EHX, they order thousands of these switches when they make these pedals, and they can order that switch in any way they want. They will custom make it. So sometimes you won't be able to find the exact switch. Don't worry about that. That's, the toggle length is maybe a little optional. You could cut it down if you really had to. In this case, I'm just going to go with the short one because it's going to be a better fit for this application. And these switches, by the way, are Taiway brand switches. I think I've just got invaded by a cat. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. So anyways, these are Taiway switches. I think the switches in the pedal are actually an E-switch, because E-switch actually had a toggle that had the right length on it. Yeah, what are you doing? Silly. You want to get up here and fix pedals with me? Anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and install this switch. So when I was looking for these switches online, I checked out the EHX site, and I just put in there freeze toggle switch EHX. They did not have the switch in stock when I looked. They do have parts for their pedals, though. They didn't have this one. And also, by the way, I'm sure Electro-Harmonix would just repair this pedal for you if you sent it to them. You don't really need a guy like me to do it, but if you're just doing this stuff yourself, just go ahead and order up yourself a switch. But anyways, they didn't have that switch in stock. But I did find plenty of references to this particular pedal and that switch being destroyed in these pedals. And obviously people, they're just stomping on it and breaking it. It's pretty common, apparently, on the freeze pedal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the short toggle in there. It'll give us a little lower switch that maybe it won't get hit in the future. All right, there's the old switch out, the old broken switch. More pieces of it are falling off. That thing fought me pretty good. Yeah, it fits absolutely perfectly. The pins fit and everything. And it doesn't matter which way this goes. The switching will work the same. All right, so there it is. And we're going to solder it on in there, following the same procedure that we always follow. Just tack it in first. I get enough solder on my iron here. There's a tack there. And it looks nice and flat on there. Alright, little IPA around here to clean this up a little bit. I don't know, let's maybe try a little test fit. Gotta get all this stuff off first. That's good. Yeah, this unit does not fit in this case very easily. Let's see if I can get it in there without breaking anything. Yeah, that's some real piss poor engineering right there. From what I understand, in later models of these, they cut this off right here, so it's easier to get this assembled and you won't break it. I'll tell you what, that is odd. That is the damnedest thing. So you can see what the problem is there. I mean, sure, I'm a little crooked, but that's not what matters here. So you can't get, like, that jack is all the way against that. And if you look over here, like, the bushing to the switch is hitting. There's literally like almost no way. And maybe I could put this, hang on. This is the damnedest thing. It's weird. Why do they build this like this? It's so strange. Oh, I did it. Look at that. I actually managed to get it in there. This ain't right though. There it goes. Wow. That is one heck of a burp engineering right there. All right. So it is possible to get it in there without taking that bit out. All right, anyways. So we need to basically fire this guy up and see if it'll function now. And yeah, that came off. Let's fix that. Okay, I think we ought to apply some power to this, see if it'll power on up. And it does take a Boss type adapter, center negative. So that's what we got right here. All right, plug that there. Plug you there. Power on. All right, we need 9 volts, which we've already got set up here. 200 milliamps. I think this is expecting 140 milliamps. Let's go ahead and turn her on and see what happens. Okay, yeah, 138 milliamps, 9 volts. Nothing popped or anything, so I think it might be okay. Let's see. Yep. Got a light there. Not sure. So that's almost like a momentary. I'm not sure what that does. That's the latch. Yeah. I think that's working. I don't know exactly how it works. I have to look in the manual a little bit, but I think should just go ahead and put a signal into it and see what happens. All right, well, I got a little guitar set up here. See if we can make this do anything. Seems to be holding that. Okay, so on these mode descriptions, it says in the fast mode, when the foot switch is triggered, the freeze will immediately sustain the current input. The sound will be sustained until the foot switch is released, at which point the effect will immediately disengage. So let's see if that's what's happening here. Okay, so there's your sustain. It should just cut off when I let off. And that's exactly what it did. Good. In the slow mode, when the foot switch is triggered, the freeze will sustain the current input, fading in the effect. The sound will be sustained until the foot switch is released, at which point the effect will fade out slowly. The speed of the fade can be set during slow speed initialization. See below. We'll have to check that out. But let's see if that does what it's supposed to do. So it faded in pretty fast. And faded out. It faded out, but it's pretty fast. We'll get back to that fade thing in a minute. And then in latch mode, it says, when the foot switch is triggered, the freeze will immediately sustain your current sound. The sound will continue to be sustained upon releasing the foot switch. Really. When the foot switch is triggered again, the freeze will immediately replace the sustained sound with the new current input. A double tap on the foot switch will silence the effect. This should capture my sound when I push it, then it should sustain it when I let off on the latch mode. And it is. So I should grab the next sound that I'm inputting. Whoop. And it did. And double tapping will silence it. So basically it's waiting for a sound. I guess you need an input. Yeah, that's kind of like a clever way to play over it. It's kind of neat. Okay, so about that slow speed initialization thing. Okay, the slow speed initialization, the speed at which the effect fades in, out, in slow mode can be adjusted by following these steps. Basically, unplug the power jack, hold down the foot switch, plug the power jack back in, the LED blinks, and then you can move this mode switch up and down for different settings. I'm going to guess that it was set on the up. I'm going to set it to the longest, which is 800 milliseconds fade in and 3.2 seconds fade out. That's going to be in the down, the latch mode maybe. Alright, so let me unplug this guy. Hold the foot switch in. Blinking. I mean, I was in latch mode already, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that did anything. See what happens. But I need to be in the right mode and to be slow. Yeah, that's working. Let me get that without a buzz in there. Now it should take 3.2 seconds to fade out when I'm let off. Pretty close to that. Let's do the middle position. Just for the heck of it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Yep. That's the slow, or the middle, sorry. Where you at? That should be the really fast one. Yeah, that came in immediately and went out. Okay. It looks like it's working. Seems like it's working to me. Let's just put it back together. So, I need to find one of these dress nuts for this side. Let me look and see what I have. Okay, so I found these. They should work, I hope. I think all this stuff is pretty standard. Not an exact match, but close enough. So, EHX Freeze. So, just real quick to finish up, I'm going to use one of these glorified mascara brushes and some of this DoItYourself D100. Just get in here and clean these jacks a little bit. That'll probably ought to do it. Well, that'll do it for the repair on the EHX Freeze sound retainer pedal. Sure hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.